In today's video, we are reacting to where are OnlyFans millionaires today. Um, I ain't gonna lie, now granted, some people might not agree with this work, some people might think it's bad. I'm not gonna sit here and co-sign OnlyFans and say it's good. But yeah, no, after you run off a bunch of money and you're up like 10, $20 million at such a young age, it's like what do you do? Like at that point, like what do you do? You made more money. You've made more money than some niggas made in their entire life. You made it at a relatively young age. Like, what do you do with your life? And I guess this video is gonna go ahead and answer some of those questions for us today. So yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it.
AM. On her 18th birthday, she posts her OnlyFans link, and within hours, she's made $1 million. OnlyFans is an innovation we've never seen before in the sex trade, taking a movement meant to empower women's rights and twisting it to enrich the few at the top, all at the expense of society as a whole, which we'd later talk to Chris Williamson about.
OnlyFans almost certainly takes advantage of the lonely.
I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of niggas out there nowadays that can't get play or can't get no hugs, so they gotta resort to, but I don't know, because I swear I remember them seeing a statistic being like the majority of dudes that pay for OnlyFans are like married men at all. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, technically speaking, they're not lonely. I guess they could be like deprived, their wives might not want to clap them because they're not in the best, state. But even then, it's like, bro, why are you paying? I never understood the idea of paying for OF when the hub is literally free. You know what I mean? You don't gotta pay to, get off on the hub. So like I'm not really seeing the correlation there. But yeah, no, like yeah, surprisingly, yeah, the majority of dudes who use OnlyFans are all married men.
That we're seeing in young men at the moment, but it also is just an outgrowth. It's just another wing on the side of the sort of pornification, identification world.
And now they're turning the most sick thing possible into a marketing strategy.
Y'all already know what the f going on. We just broke the link record with the youngest link of the century. $1 million in a couple hours. I'm still the youngest one doing it for.
This is Lil Tay, real name Claire Aline Keyhope, and this is the result of a plan set in motion when she was just 11 years old.
Viral child star.
That is crazy how long Lil Tay been around. How long Lil Tay been having motion. That is kind of disappointing though, because I feel like some of these girls that get into OF, like, don't get me wrong, and there's certain circumstances that like I understand it. You know what I mean? Like, again, I'm not saying I'm supporting it, but I'm also not saying that I don't understand it at all. Like, I get it for some girls who were like, they really have no other way to make it out. But to the girl, like Lil Tay, like she already had motion there. Now I don't feel like she needed to do this. But then again, I feel like women like Lil Tay, stuff like that, most of the time they're posting pictures of them like that they would post on like other girls post on Instagram. Very rarely do I see a girl that was like known as a child star get on an OF in there on there getting, what I'm saying, diamond. I don't know. I've never paid. I'm just assuming, but I haven't heard or I haven't seen any like leaks of anybody like a Sophie Ray or anything like that getting leaked or getting, pounded. Typically, if they're getting leaked, it's like either something they would post on Instagram or like a little boob slip or something like that to the sort. So in that instance, I don't really, I guess, have a a lot of y'all might disagree, but at that point, it's like, if you're willing to pay for my services, which in this instance is me showing you my body, like, I don't know, I can't really be mad at it.
Lil Tay just turned 18 and within hours launched an OnlyFans account claiming to have broken records.
So is this something that you had been planning on, like waiting until you turned 18 to be able to do it?
Yeah, like it's an idea. I've actually been like planning this since like 2018, so.
Born 2007, Lil Tay was planning on doing OnlyFans well before she should have even been allowed on social media.
Thank you to all my supporters who have pre-ordered since 2018 or whenever you did.
OnlyFans had only
pre-ordering that's a diabolical way to phrase that. You pre-ordered a girl waiting till she turned. Yeah, no, that's diabolical.
existed for a couple of years back then, but has now grown to be valued at over $8 billion US. See, the platform has amassed over 4 million creators, but the average creator makes just $180 US per month.
Yeah, no, imagine getting on OF thinking you finna just get on this hoe and bang, and you're actually posting clips of you getting pounded. And you're making $200 a month. And you're posting clips of you just flat out just gobbling meat or getting straight pounded. Like for $200 a month, bro. Hell no, I'm not doing that shit. That's not worth that, bro. You know what I mean? Like my self-respect is worth way more. So that's kind of trash, you know. But like on some Sophie Rain type money. You know.
While the top 10% take over 70% of the earnings and the top 1% take over 30%, with Lil Tay placing in the top 0.0001% of creators earning over $3 million after just 3 hours.
Already, like I'm literally #1 on OF. I'm the youngest, and I'm on top, as always.
But the truth of why she's doing this is far more twisted. Because while the insane amounts of money Lil Tay is earning would be a good explanation, Lil Tay's past not only calls her free will into question, but also who that money even goes to in the first place. 2018, a 9-year-old girl appears on Instagram calling herself the youngest flexer of the century. She speaks in a contrived hood accent, and her Instagram is all wads of cash and luxury cars.
That's actually insane.
And her Instagram is
I can't even, hey, little bro, this picture's tough. You know what I'm saying? This picture's tough. I can't even lie. I'll give you that. This picture hard with the G-Wagon on top doing the money spread. This is like every hood nigga dream right here. Every hood nigga would love to have a photo like this. So I can't even, hey, y'all nigga, do your thing.
All wads of cash and luxury cars. She gains 1.2 million followers in 2 weeks.
My toilet costs more to your rent. I'm only 9 years old. This Lil Tay.
At 9 years old, nigga, how do you even know what rent is, nigga? At 9 years old, nigga, I just thought that, like, I never even thought about, like, when my parents said, oh, I have to go to work, I never thought about what that shit meant, nigga. I was worried about playing with goddamn Beyblades, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was stealing Beyblades from Walmart and battling niggas, you know what I'm saying? That's what I was worried about at 9 years old. I don't know what y'all niggas had going on.
And I'm richer than all y'all broke Jigglypuff looking at.
Oh,
Mama,
wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And she popping. She openly popping, calling us broke ass niggas. That's how you feel? That's how you feel? We some broke ass niggas, Lil Tay? But at the same point, though, at 9 years old, bro, a lot of this goes on the parents, bro. Like, the kid, bro, like, you don't really know what you're saying. Like, you're saying most of the stuff that you've heard other people say at that point. So this is really on the parents, bro.
She had thought.
Wait, who's Lil Tay?
Lil Tay is a 9-year-old girl who is famous now on the internet for talking shit and showing all the money she has and all the things she buys. If you don't know about Lil Tay?
No.
This is the death of society.
At first we laughed, it's just absurd, a kid flexing Lamborghinis and dissing people in a fake accent, but the laughter didn't last. A 9-year-old doesn't invent these lines or build this character or monetize themselves. Then a leaked video surfaces. Her 16-year-old brother Jason is directing her, not encouraging but coaching.
Lil Tay be popping on YouTube right now.
No. Redo. You need to be like more ignorant. You have to be like,
nigga, how do you know what ignorant is at 9 years old? Bro, I'm barely knowing how to spell. Nigga, alright, bro, not ignorant. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
ooh, Lil Tay out here.
Jason was obsessed with going viral in the late 2010s. He figured shock was the fastest way to fame, and it would hit harder coming from a kid rather than him. So he chose his younger sister, which would set off years of manipulation and exploitation. Even her own parents were cashing in, pushing her to do whatever made the most money as fast as possible.
And what about those homes she claims to own? GMA talked to Mom Angie's former boss at a Vancouver real estate firm, who told us Lil Tay filmed using his car and some of his properties for sale, all without his approval.
I didn't shoot in anyone else's house.
You didn't shoot in anyone else's house.
She then walks this back to
No one has proof that I did.
her mother, a real estate agent, was far more involved than appeared at first, and was actually fired after she let Lil Tay use people's homes and cars to film.
David Yang was Angela Tian's boss. His red Mercedes SL 500, also used as a prop in one of the profanity-laced posts.
But I didn't realize she was filming for Instagram. If I had known, this would have been happened.
This exploitation of a child was
On an unrelated note, bro, this Asian dude, hold on. The Asian dude that we just saw, this guy, bro, I remember I was doing a Uber Eats order one time for a customer. And the nigga basically was like, yo, bro, I'll give you $100 tip if you let me suck your tip. Right? And at the time, I thought the nigga was playing. I thought he was joking. Right? So I'm like, bro, well, first off, he asked me, did I want to make some extra money? And then I said, how? And he was like, yo, like, I'll give you a tip if you let me suck your tip. And then he asked me how big my meat was. Right? Mind you, on Uber Eats, you can see the profile picture of the person bringing you the food. Right? So he knew I was black. Right? So again, I'm thinking we're joking. I tell him, bro, my meat like 8 inches, bro. 8, 9 inches, bro. Big BBC, you know what it is. He was like, ooh, what's your snap? Let me see it. And then I said, are you playing? And he said, no, I'm for real. So I was like, bet. So he sent me his snap. And then I'm like, let me look at his bid emoji to see, like, maybe he's like somebody, because on Uber Eats, I can't see who I'm dropping off for. It doesn't make the customer take pictures. It only makes the driver take the pictures. So I go and I look, and it's a dude who looks just like this, the bid emoji. And I'm like, oh, wait, like, he might be serious. And so I never added him a snap. So I pull up to the house, right? It's like dark. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I pull up to the nigga house. I get out the car and I'm walking to drop the order off the door, bro. Why is this nigga in a bathrobe, butt naked, looking at me, bro? Imagine that. Nigga that looks like this. In a bathrobe late at night, peeping through his window, waiting for you so he can give you some top. Yeah. That shit scarred me for about like 3 weeks, you know? Yeah. Oh, and yeah, if it's not obvious enough, he didn't give me no top. Yeah, I wasn't going for that.
This would have been happened.
This exploitation of a child was only headed in one direction.
Just stop reporting my videos. I have a dream. I'm trying to make my mom proud.
And even before OnlyFans, commentators were seeing exactly where Lil Tay's trajectory would take her.
These images will live on and follow you for the rest of your life. Is a 9-year-old really capable of making this kind of decision?
This is some question you ask a girl on her way into porn, not a 9-year-old with a foul mouth.
But then, one day, Lil Tay just disappears. Now you might be thinking, good, she should never have been pushed into this anyway. Yet, her disappearance would last for 5 years. And then, in 2023, her family revealed that she and her brother were dead. So what could have been more disturbing than her exploitation and early death? Well, maybe the fact that it was all fake. Yes, Lil Tay emerged from the grave to reveal that she was in fact alive and that her disappearance was due to her parents' custody battle. She claims her father was coercive, abusive, and forced Lil Tay back to Canada before falsely announcing her death. And if you thought that was the peak of it, it wasn't. Only 15 years old, she released her first song.
But why would you do that? Why would you say that your child's passed away? That's such a bad, like, why would you put that energy in the air, bro? Like, L Father, god damn, 154,000 dislikes, Jesus Christ. That's insane. That's insane.
Sucker for Green, a song about sex and money. Beyond the feeble songwriting and dancing, this whole thing was just so disturbing, seeing the sinister direction Lil Tay's life was going. It wasn't long before she admitted her childhood was ruined. It also wasn't long before it was over. Leading up to her 18th birthday, Lil Tay posts about men asking for her OnlyFans account the moment she's legal.
So it's my 18th birthday on July 29th. And every male has been counting down to it and literally telling me to drop the link the second I turn 18. Girlies, what do you think? Should I do it?
Then at 12:01 on July 29th, Lil Tay releases her OnlyFans. Everything is designed to publicize the fact that she's barely legal and it somehow works. But you might have picked up on something. She released the first batch of content at 12:01 on her 18th birthday, so unless she shot, edited and uploaded this all in 1 minute, it was then created while she was still a child. This video is sponsored by Chat LLM from Abacus AI. If you've been using AI lately, you've probably run into this problem, or click the link in the description below. And it isn't the first time underage content has found its way onto OnlyFans. There's been a whole slew of this stuff on OnlyFans in the past, but this is where Lil Tay's story gets even weirder, as she goes on to claim that OnlyFans is a way of life, an alternative to college.
No. Like I said, I already claimed here and said like I get certain people like. In a situation like the Angela Fernandez video we just reacted to, she said she had stuff going on. She needed money really, really quickly. And like she used what she had, which is her body, you know, to bust out the seed and make money out. Lil Tay did not have to go down this route. You know what I mean? Like she didn't have to do this, bro. To sit here and claim OF is the new college, one builds death and the other builds wealth, pick it. Like, no, this is a horrible way to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, we still need doctors, we still need lawyers, we still need these important people in society to help run things, you know what I'm saying? We don't need girls that are willing to you know what I'm saying, like for us to pay to see them in certain situations, you know? When again the hub exists for free. So there's no real need to pay it, you know what I'm saying? And again, like imagine having a failed PR or just in terms of doing OF, bro. The moment you started, bro, like you pretty much cooked your PR forever. Like I can't think of one person who successfully had an OF, got popular on it, and then deleted it and had great PR. I can't think of one. Probably the best was like Lana Rhodes, in my opinion, but it's like she was just so on top, and there's just so many videos of her just getting just straight drilled. That like no matter what you do, we're gonna just look at you as the girl on OF or look at you as the girl that was a star. You know what I'm saying? And not the good kind of star. You know, so but at that point it comes down to like, do you care about people's opinions on you? You know what I'm saying? If you don't care, you know what I'm saying, you want to be rich and you don't care what it takes, then hey, go ahead and start that OF. But just really understand what you're getting into and understand if this is something you really want to do. Because once you do this, you can't really undo it. Like, once it's done, it's done. Even if you try to do some Travis Hunter wife type things where you download the app and then delete the account, like, if you get famous stuff, people are going to find out that you had an OF at one point in time. So, really think about it before you do it.
OnlyFans didn't actually plan for this to even happen. It just built the cleanest payment system we've ever had for it. It takes the world's oldest trade and plugs it straight into the modern attention economy, where everyone competes, everything escalates, and whatever gets the strongest reaction gets rewarded. And for the young men fueling demand, it's the feeling of being wanted by purchasing a micro relationship, a feeling that someone—
Yeah, now that is kind of diabolical. Sending meat pictures to girls on OF, asking them to rate your meat, and the random nigga in Pakistan tells you, "Oh my God, daddy, your schlong is just so huge. I just want to put it all in my mouth." Holy fuck! That could never be me, bro. I never was at this level of gooner, bro. It never got this bad for me.
Is responding to you. So we spoke to Chris Williamson, the host of the Modern Wisdom podcast, known for talking to psychologists, researchers, and cultural critics about what's happening to dating, loneliness, and meaning in modern life. So we asked him if OnlyFans is linked to the loneliness epidemic.
OnlyFans almost certainly takes advantage of the loneliness that we're seeing in young men at the moment, but it also is just an outgrowth. It's just another wing on the side of the sort of pornification, identification world. Maybe it does help men to feel less lonely, or maybe it causes them to steep in their own neurosis and ruminating thoughts and spend all of their time in the house. I don't know. It could be either of those two things. And ultimately, we need to work out what's the net impact of this. Is this going to make them all sexually dysfunctional? Is it all going to give them OCD or performative?
You know, some people say that, yeah, if you beat your shit too often, that like you're gonna get performance or where your shit not gonna work. Basically, I'm gonna be honest, bro. There were times in my life where yeah, I was beating my shit like 2 to 3 times a day. There was a period of my time where I was, you know what I'm saying? I wake up, beat my shit. Go to lunch, beat my shit. Go to dinner, beat my shit. And then beating my shit again for dessert. No. You know? But I never had a problem with getting it up though. You know what I mean? Now lasting long, different story. But I developed the infinite stamina glitch. So I don't gotta worry about that. But in terms of getting it up, I never had a problem. There was never no girl that I wanted to get action with that I couldn't do.
Autism or ADHD or whatever? Is it going to make them totally incapable of social interaction? Or is it going to have a negligible effect? We don't know. Like, this is what happens when you release a new technology. And I don't know, I am pretty concerned, you know? I am quite concerned about what the future of young kids growing up with. I mean, it shows you everything that you need to know that Steve Jobs' kids didn't have iPads.
Yeah.
The people that create these technologies don't permit their children to use them. And yet, many users of these technologies do. I can't make the prediction, and this is why it's scary. The uncertainty is what's scary. If we knew the impact that this had, we'd be able to start adjusting stuff. We'd be able to control usage time, or we'd be able to, it would come with a health warning.
And then he points us to a common moral defense people use to.
I mean, no, but like I said, the hub exists before OnlyFans, I'm pretty sure. You know what I'm saying? I was gooning back when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old. It's been around for a decent amount of time. And then people had magazines and stuff like that. So I don't know. Like, I feel like we do have enough research on this to determine whether this is good or bad.
Justify the entire industry.
Personally, again, I don't know. Certain people, like, people say it's overly bad. You know, I have my moments where I go on and off from beating my shit. Like, right now, I haven't beat my shit in like about a week or so, something like that. And I mean, like, it's okay. You know, sometimes I just go without. Sometimes I beat my shit on the regularly. I will say, this could be placebo. Don't you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. This could be placebo. But in my opinion, I feel like my life goes better when I don't beat my shit. But I mean, like, I don't feel like it's terribly worse when I do though. Like, I don't feel like my life is being destroyed by it. So I don't know, but that's just me though. Like, you might feel differently also. Like, some of these influencers might influence you that way, or some of them might just get like, I was never one of the guys that got super duper deep into it to where I'm watching hentai, to where I'm watching like 3v1s, to where I'm watching people being chained. I was never that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? I was into like the Latina maid, the shared beds. You know, I'm into like the normal, the amateur stuff. You know, the very like calm stuff. I wasn't an overly like obsessed individual when it comes to gooning, in my opinion.
You know, it's kind of like the drug dealer argument. If they don't get it from me, they're going to get it from someone else.
Yeah.
You know, if one OnlyFans creator doesn't create her OnlyFans, it's not like a million others. And if it's not that, it's admireme.vip. And if it's not that, it's, you know, the way that these competitions work is that if there's a gap in the market, someone's going to fill it.
Yeah.
So I would guess, again, if I was, I'll just put a little bet on, can't say with certainty, but I would guess that OnlyFans discourages men from finding intimacy in the real world.
But to be honest, that could be a good thing, because let me give y'all a quick story time, right? So boom. There was a girl, right? I was on Hinge scrolling, trying to get some play with her. Right? There's this girl that I found, right? I live in South Carolina, and I wanted to go to Atlanta to just visit, but I also wanted to, you know what I'm saying, go chill with a woman, this and that, whatever, right? So boom, I'm on Hinge, and I find this snow bunny, right? And actually, I'm gonna tell the story very briefly because I want to make a whole YouTube video about the story time on my Mac Night channel. You know what I'm saying? Go watch that. Go tap in. We got good content over there too. But yeah, I had matched with this girl. You guess she stayed 6 hours away, but you know what I'm saying, she was telling me like, yo, you can do this, and that. You can come over. We can clap. You know, I love to give a top. You know me. You know me. If a shawty try to throw the neck, I mean, who am I to refuse? Who am I to refuse? if she's trying to throw neck, who am I to say no? You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? I got in my car, or I got in the car, and I drove about 4 hours to the A. Right, linked her shit, cracked her shit, and then I was supposed to stay there the next day, but long story short, she didn't want me to stay, so I ended up having to leave, right? So boom, I drove 8 hours to get cheeks, right? Some people would be like, okay, well, that's already bad, right? Get this, right? On this YouTube channel, the day before, my channel had got some good views, and I was getting a lot of engagement relative to what I'm at now. But I was getting a good amount of engagement, right? Nigga, in 2 days, bro, I woke up with a fat ass pimp on my lip, bro, and I woke up with strep throat. Bro, I'm in my bed fighting for my life, gang. While my YouTube channel is low-key getting turned up, and I can't even post. I can't even post because I'm just dog shit sick. I can't do shit. You know? And by the time I got healed and better to get ready to post, bro, like my wave just came and went. So now I gotta rebuild that momentum again. And it's like, bro, like if I would have just beat my meat, bro, like I would have got 80% of what it would have been to clap her. But I wouldn't have gotten sick. I wouldn't have had to drive 8 hours. I would have saved on gas money. Like there are so many benefits that would have came into that, right? You know what I mean? So I feel like if you're somebody who's trying to focus and build something up, bro, I feel like you should just beat your meat, bro, because it saves you time and it saves you money, bro. You can just go in the bathroom, grab your favorite big booty Latina video, and just go to work for like 5 minutes. And then once you're done, get back to doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Get in, get out. You know, again, I don't support beating your meat every day or like 24/7. But you know, if you need to release, you know what I'm saying, go release, you know? In my opinion, that's what I'm saying. Most of the time when I have bad experience, I'm thinking like, damn, I could have just beat my meat, right, and went to sleep. You know?
It would be unsurprising to me if there was a study done and OnlyFans subscribers report higher levels of real-world loneliness. Would be very unsurprising. But
and then it's like, bro, if these niggas just got in shape, got cleaned up their appearance, not even on no clavicular looks maxing shit, but if they just did the bare minimums, like worked out consistently at the gym, lost some weight, got a decent haircut, got friends, you know what I'm saying? Like personally, I'm not really a guy. I don't really shoot very well. My shooting percentages on Instagram aren't very high. But if I go out to the, like, in my opinion, right, my humble opinion, if you throw me in any city in America, right, and we forget status and we forget money, right? I feel like if you throw me in any city in America and I go out for Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights for a whole month straight, I can crack at least 2 to 3 girls and I wouldn't have had to approach them. You know? Now some of y'all might argue that, oh, it's because you're handsome, it's because you're so tall, it's because your personality is just so amazing. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the calm glaze, you know what I'm saying? You know, when you glaze me, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna stop you from glazing me, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like I feel like if I put myself out there, bro, I'm gonna get some type of play. You know what I mean? Which saying that, but then saying I drove 6 hours to get played kind of contradicts itself. But you know what I'm saying? Like I don't sometimes I don't feel like putting myself out there. Like sometimes I want to just know, like, hey, I can go get some cheeks. I don't have to go out here and just look pretty and wait for somebody to come talk to me when I can just be on Hinge and I can find a girl who already wants to let me hit. So oh wait, what? Oh.
How comforted are they by this, again, artificial intimacy? Virtual intimacy, I guess. It's not necessarily artificial.
It's clear that OnlyFans is just a symptom of a much wider problem between men and women in 2026, where these systems hijack the void in the psyche of millions. So what are we actually seeing here? How has her life come from being a millionaire from OnlyFans? And most importantly, where does this lead over time? Especially now that she's over 18, people just shrug and say, well, she's legal now. Is the internet so desensitized to this pipeline that preparing children for work doesn't even register anymore? From then, her earnings had risen from $1 million to $15 million, and she still claims to be the #1 on the platform. Yet it seems like her personal life is hell. But this is hardly the worst story compared to all the other OnlyFans millionaires out there. You see,
y'all think Lil Tay give good neck? This might be a wild question to ask, but like genuine question. Y'all think Lil Tay got her top game is good or not? I'm not gonna lie, you know, like, she's not ugly. Lil Tay not an ugly girl.
What happens when the most humiliating thing done to you becomes the thing you have to sell to survive? Blac Chyna found out after Rob Kardashian posted revenge content, creating an expensive legal fight that led her to Onlyfans to pay for this. Born Angela White, her mother Tony Tokyo was abusive, unhinged, and takes all credit for her daughter's successes, literally taking any opportunity to demean her own daughter publicly.
She's rotten, spoiled, always been, and lied. Period.
Angela White was forced to sell herself to survive and to support her parents from a young age. She worked as a stripper from the age of 18 while at university to support herself and both her parents financially.
I continued to dance, you know, to like support myself, my mom, and my family and whatnot.
Here she met a man called Blac Chyna. She liked the name and took it for her own alter ego, a character she built around herself, one she could sell to survive while preserving Angela White.
Blac Chyna's the brand.
Is that where the persona of Blac Chyna was created? Was in that
absolutely.
era? Okay.
Yeah, in the strip club.
She danced at the King of Diamonds, a celebrity strip club circuit where one of those celebrities took a shine to her. Drake's turned her into a category. Then the industry started hiring her. But she wasn't talent, she was just purely sex appeal, and soon another artist would discover her. Blac Chyna spoke publicly in an interview about how rapper Tyga came out to Miami to the strip club she worked at specifically to meet her.
Yeah, so Drake put me in a song, it's called Miss Me, which then Tyga discovered me.
Tell me what's really going on. Drizzy back up in this thing already. What's happening? Gone for surgery, but now I'm back again. Wait, hold up. Oh, yeah, girl, it's on. You know what it is when I finally make it home. I just hope that you miss me a little when I'm gone. Yeah, I hope that you missed me a little when I'm gone. And you just tell me what you down for. Anything you down for. I know things have changed. No, I used to be around more, but you should miss me a little when I'm gone. Yeah, I hope that you miss me a little when I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? Yo, stop playing with him, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, light-skinned nigga Drake come sign a nigga.
Well, not discover me, but he came like, you know, to come and meet me and meet Chyna.
But this didn't lead to more work.
So then from there, after that, I got pregnant, and then I moved to LA.
This would put her on the road to Onlyfans, and it was then that she started to enhance her body. Cosmetic surgeries that reflected modern society's appetite for excess, including 4 breast enlargement surgeries, lip fillers, Botox, and silicone injections in her bum. Tyga then quickly moved on to the next woman.
And then he started talking to Kylie at the time, which is
Kylie Jenner's come up for that shit. I ain't gonna lie. Like in terms of people who have gotten work done, like Kylie's by far was. She was. Well, I'm not gonna say she was just chopped cheese, but Kylie Jenner did not look like a Kardashian, whatever, pre-surgery. But after she got all that work done, man. Boy, oh motherfucking boy. Kylie Jenner. I ain't gonna lie, if it was me, bruh, I'm not pulling out. Right like that.
she was like 16 or something, and we was like engaged and stuff. So that's kind of like what ended it.
Now, she's a single mother, with the father embedded in a powerful family that considers her a threat.
Everyone knows the history that Blac Chyna and the Kardashian sisters do not get along.
But one didn't. You see, Rob took a liking to Blac Chyna and began messaging her.
Robert, he was hitting me up on Instagram like all the time.
It wouldn't take long before she was sucked into the Kardashian orbit again. Their relationship didn't last very long. She alleges that he beat her and his sister got their show cancelled. They then split up, and Rob publishes revenge content of her online. So now she was fighting multiple legal cases.
A court showdown between Blac Chyna and the members of the Kardashian family is taking place years after the reality star filed a lawsuit against Kris Jenner and her daughters.
And here's the craziest part. When Rob leaked the photos, fighting back required money that she just didn't have. So she had to start an OnlyFans. The very thing used to degrade her became the thing she had to sell.
It was something that I didn't want to do at first. But at the time I had so many lawsuits and so many things that I was dealing with. I'm like, I gotta figure out how can I like continue to have like my house, take care of my kids, do everything.
Why is her eyebrow like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at my eyebrow, right? See how it's like low right by my eyelid and stuff like what the fuck is like why is her eyebrow so far above her head, bro? Like this shit don't even look right. Like what the fuck? Who the fuck told her this shit was cute, bro? This shit look almost alien at this point.
I need to do. So that's why I started the OnlyFans.
And almost to her detriment, it was a huge success. She went stratospheric and became one of the platform's top content creators, as headlines emerged about her earning $20 million a month. But it was just another degrading chapter in her book of her own exploitation.
It's a dead end. All that stuff is a dead end. Yeah, the money's great, but do I really want to like live my life like this? And the answer is no.
Unlike Lil Tay, Blac Chyna doesn't want other women to get stuck into a lifestyle that she was trapped in.
I had to take a step back and think about like, okay, for example, if I'm doing OnlyFans and people are seeing that I'm making so much money, that's going to influence them to want to go and do OnlyFans.
She couldn't do it anymore. She then became a born-again Christian and was baptized. And without warning, she deactivated her OnlyFans.
December, I quit OnlyFans. Like I started feeling a conviction. It's like one of those things I did what I needed to do at that moment because of the circumstances that I was in. And then it's like you do it and it's just like, you got to get out of it. It's degrading.
But she spent years and thousands of dollars creating Blac Chyna. That had to go too. But undoing so much cosmetic surgery isn't as easy as deleting an app.
With surgery, I took out the fillers, my lip fillers, cheek fillers, chin fillers, this filler. Got my breasts reduced. One of the best decisions I could have done in a very long time. Also, I got the
So it's like, okay, how is she getting money nowadays? Like, if her whole appeal was like, you know what I'm saying, sexual based, like, and you take the sexual element away, like, how is she getting money?
reduction in my butt.
But what about the guys spending the money and influencing these women to get to this point in the first place?
People that are outliers in one area are outliers in other areas. If you're non-typical with your drive, or your desire to prove yourself to the world, or your need for validation, or your capitalism, or your ruthlessness, or your work ethic, you might be non-typical when it comes to your sex as well. When you can afford anything, what is left for you to want? It's something that you can't get. And what is it that you can't get? Well, you have to start pushing illegality.
Knowing that only makes our next story so much worse.
Hi, my name's Annie, I'm 25. I do social media full-time, influencing on TikTok and Instagram. I also do a little bit of OnlyFans.
Annie Knight is one of Australia's top.
It's like that. When girls say, "Oh, I do social media," bro, just say you do. Like, that's in my opinion. That's what goes straight in my head. Oh, I do social media. Oh yeah, you be getting clapped on here. That's why, to a certain extent, bro, you gotta respect Bonnie Blue. You know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna say, "Oh, I'm not social." No, she said, "No, I be getting on OF, nigga." What you saying? He up in your face about it, you know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not agreeing with it, but I can respect it. You know what I'm saying? Versus the other girls, they just try to like, oh, yeah, I might do a little bit of OnlyFans. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna do it, like, own that shit. You know what I mean?
OnlyFans models, and she makes up to $600,000 per month. This is an insane sum of money, and probably more and less work than the career she originally wanted for herself. She discovered OnlyFans during lockdown.
I started posting TikToks, and then I realized how fun it was, and I was getting views, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I started seeing TikToks of other women who have an OnlyFans page. And it's something that one of my friends had said to me to do. She's like, you should create an OnlyFans page. Like, you would make millions. You'd do so well. And I was like, what are you even talking about? What's OnlyFans?
But because she wasn't famous yet, she didn't enter through the front door like Lil Tay and Blac Chyna. She entered through the messy reality creators never talk about: leaks.
I was very scared about my nudes getting leaked. And it did actually happen. I started getting so.
Yeah, y'all remember back in the days, you know what I'm saying, niggas used to be terrified of getting leaked, bro. Nowadays, it's like, you know what I'm saying, $5.99, you can see everything you want. Yeah, that was crazy, yeah. Back in the time, that wasn't even that long ago, bro. I remember back when I was coming up, yeah, women in high school were terrified of getting leaked. You know what I'm saying? They was like, bro, don't show nobody this picture, blah, 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 blah. Now it's just like, niggas don't give a fuck.
led within my social circles and stuff, which was pretty stressful and it actually made me stop doing it for a while there.
And once that happens, OnlyFans' promise of control falls apart pretty quickly. Now it's not just a website, it's in people's WhatsApp group chats, it's being shown on a phone, handed around at a party, it's everywhere.
I was so ashamed. I really went into my shell during that period and I had a lot of social anxiety. Every time I would go to a party or I would go out somewhere, I would see people whispering and pointing and people I knew as well. So it was really stressful and it caused me a lot of anxiety.
But it wasn't just emotional consequences, she also lost her career.
I had just started a new job. I was on day 5 and I actually went home sick that day and I received an email saying termination of contract. And I was shocked. I didn't know what was going on. And I read the email and quickly saw screenshots of my OnlyFans on the email and a list.
That's why I said the thing is with the OF, bro. Once you do it, bro, you really can't even really back out, bro. Unless you just take the whole influencer route. You can't really do OF, get big enough to where you're making 600K a month and just quit. Cause this is just the unfortunate thing that's gonna happen. You can't really half in, half out this shit. You gotta fully commit, bro, to the point where okay, cool. It's damn near the equivalent of a man getting a neck tattoo, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like once you do certain things, bro, there's no going back. Your life will never be the same once you do this. You say you need to fully understand this before you get into it.
Of 3 reasons why I was fired, basically.
This is the treadmill you get trapped on. Once you're exposed, the pressure doesn't disappear, it multiplies. And it doesn't just affect her, it hits everyone around her.
Wait,
her husband,
damn, that's crazy. That's my last name too. What the fuck?
Was then harassed in public. His old post then gets swarmed, and it escalated from comments online to real-world threats.
My fiance and I, our lives have been threatened, and we've had something scary happen recently where I think had we not had a really high-tech security system in our house, things could have gone very bad, and that's scary, and that's the part of it that I think I do regret, and I think it's pretty easy to say that if I'd never worked with Bonnie, that wouldn't have happened.
Knight is even personally threatened too.
Oh wait, she was with Bonnie Blue? Yeah, what the fuck was she on there doing? She must have been doing some diabolical shit. She over here clapping with Bonnie Blue? Cause Bonnie Blue not gonna be no regular Bonnie. She's gonna overly do her shit.
But there's one story that changes the tone of everything. Knight revealed that during a collaboration with a male creator, she was art. The attack only ended as she secretly installed a guard in the next room who heard her screaming for help. He later researched the man and found out he was a convicted felon with a long rap sheet of disgusting offenses.
We get down to filming and straight away he is doing the things that I've told him I don't want to do. Now I've been in this position, a similar position before at this point where I was like, okay.
Bro, she was gonna let you bro, my nigga, you're at the finish line. And you fucking blew it. You were literally you were getting the cheeks, and he said, nah, I don't want just cheeks. I'm trying to get in that back door. Oh my god, see, this is greed, bro. Greed, bro.
Enough is enough, and eventually I just pushed him off me and I left. This time was different because I asked multiple times for him to stop and he didn't. So I was trying to get him off me, and the more I was pushing him, the more he kept pushing me down.
This is the bit people ignore when they go on about empowerment. Autonomy doesn't cancel out risks. They just show up in different places. And what's grim is that the stories that travel furthest aren't the warning, but the spectacle.
I just got railed by 583 guys in 6 hours.
Yeah, okay, so that answers my question. I always said that if my girl did OF, I could deal with it to a certain extent, because typically speaking, most girls that are doing OF aren't putting up Wilt Chamberlain type numbers. But to tell me the woman sharing my same last name, which mind you, I don't know who this woman is at all. But I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of hard being the husband knowing your wife got clapped by 600 men? That one's got to hit a little different, you know? Like, cause bro, after 580 men, like, there's no way it looks the same anymore, bro. Like, it's so beaten up, so swollen. Like Bonnie Blue, bro. I don't like I said. I'm cool with like you posting pics. I'm cool with you like doing one-on-one shit. You know, I'm cool with you doing like calm shit. You know what I mean? Like, cause we all done been with people before, but like once you get to the point where like you're like doing like Olympic level clapping, like yeah, at that point, gang. As much your personality can be so good, but like once we get to this point, bro, like I can't like I'm just not gonna be able to sleep at night knowing that my wife got clapped by 583 guys in 6 hours. I couldn't do it.
You've probably heard of these stunts, but what you don't see is what it does to someone's body after the cameras turn off. Knight was actually hospitalized and admitted not knowing that could happen. You're probably wondering how anyone could put themselves through that. Knight's been clear she doesn't plan to do this forever, just enough to lock in her financial future.
It was about, $600,000, and now it's been pretty consistently been $450,000 a month.
Even at her lowest, she makes an insane amount, but she still admits this is not what happens with most OnlyFans girls.
What I see a lot these days is these girls thinking that they're going to create an account and become millionaires overnight. And that is not it. They try and go back to a job and they can't because they've gotten enough coverage or enough media coverage or whatever that, you know, that no one will take them back. So that's something I see a lot that's really sad.
These stunts don't go viral in a vacuum. They go viral because there's a paying audience for them. And what's devastating is that paying for OnlyFans doesn't even come with the kind of status the men usually chase.
You know, there's no status associated with a guy subscribing to a girl's OnlyFans, because anybody with the price of a cheeseburger per month can do that.
And what's so bizarre about this is that paying for OnlyFans clearly doesn't even come with the kind of status that men usually chase.
The reason that guys like to show off the girls that they're with is that they've been selected in some form, right? There's status associated with that woman selecting that man. Presumably there were many men, or at least not just one, and from all of the men, he was chosen.
That's the change. Instead of status through being chosen, OnlyFans offers access through payment, and that access can start to function like a substitute for real dating and real intimacy, especially when people feel more lonely, isolated, and more rejected than ever. And it's all part of a broader trend that we're seeing with artificial intimacy.
But the same isn't true of artificial intimacy, because there's an unlimited number of AI girlfriends. That being said, male loneliness is a huge problem. It's one that I care about an awful lot. And if this is able to mitigate that, then I don't necessarily have strong opinions about it, unless it encourages men to not step out into the real world. I think that's the concern that everybody has.
And then there's the darkest version. Not the platform rewarding you for going further, but someone who allegedly forces you to. For most of you, Jack Doherty is a YouTuber, but for the women that know him, he's the one that brought them into OnlyFans.
I'm not a bottle girl.
You do OnlyFans.
She works for my boyfriend.
You do OnlyFans.
You made me do OnlyFans.
You did it before I made you.
McKinley Richardson thought that she was different. She was actually dating the guy and was clear she didn't want to do OnlyFans.
I realized that the way they did make their money was through OnlyFans. And that was something that I knew that I didn't want to do for myself.
But allegedly, within 6 months, he'd pushed her into it, controlling her account and the money.
Did an event in Houston and I had a lady say that to me. She's like, I thought OnlyFans eliminated the trafficker, but I'm now understanding that agencies are the traffickers.
Richardson describes how at the beginning Doherty was kind and loving, but allegedly soon became controlling, abusive, and threatening.
I remember saying, I'm just gonna myself.
Not long after starting it, he allegedly became abusive financially.
Even the cut that I get, the small portion of money that I get that's actually mine, you're still cutting into that and using that amount of money when I hardly have anything and you're taking everything from me.
Richardson tells a story about wanting to buy her first ever car with her earnings, but Doherty didn't want her to have that freedom, so he made sure she couldn't drive.
I needed to pay my taxes. I wanted to buy a car for myself. That was something that I wasn't ready for. But Jack just didn't want me to buy a car. Like, that was some of our biggest fights. You know, he wanted me to stay home. So Jack and I had a joint bank account. We shared a bank account. He would, you know, take the money from OnlyFans, put it into this joint bank account, and take his cut of money. But when I went into my account, I realized that all my money was gone. I'm trying to think how much it was. I want to say $300,000.
No. This nigga took 300 bands? Fuck that shit, man. Hell no.
And she wasn't the only girl he was managing. His tactics for finding new clients sounded eerily similar to almost pimping.
He loves the club. And the whole time he would be in these clubs, it wasn't just for him to have fun, but he was just looking for girls to sign.
Doherty himself has outlined how he pivoted to OnlyFans as his YouTube channel declined and the money he was used to disappeared.
Everything was like adding up and I was like, yo, I need to make more money. Like, I need to do something. Then I figured it all out.
Yeah. What'd you do?
Started OnlyFans management.
That's when you started it?
Yeah, when I was 18.
Doherty was able to leverage his online success to convince women to let him manage their adult content careers, but he has a specific type he targets.
You know, I don't want to work with a girl that already has followers. Like, I want to be credited for everything. Like, you know, you get a humble girl at 0 followers. If you know what you're doing, you can make whatever girls you're working with stand out more than.
During his wedding vows to Richardson, Doherty dropped some surprise conditions for their partnership. One was that all of Richardson's OnlyFans earnings would go to him, but his commodification didn't stop there. When Richardson found out she was pregnant, his reaction terrified her.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna start a family YouTube channel and you're going to make so much money when you're pregnant and you have a
That's so horrible, because even then I've talked about the whole Jay Cinco and Lala dynamic of them being pregnant and the fact that they're having a child content. Like, at a certain point, like, I understand, like, the whole parasocial dynamic. We gotta cut it off at a certain point, bro. Like, at this point, it's like, we can't keep nothing personal, bro. Like, the internet doesn't need to know everything, bro. Like, a child doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't necessarily need to grow up on YouTube, bro. Like, I feel like that's doing a bit too much.
pregnant belly. You know, the only thing he cared about was money and content, and I knew if we had a child, it would be the same exact thing. I knew that child would be exploited. I remember looking at him and I was like, Jack, you do not realize if this is happening, I'm done. I'm not doing OnlyFans. I'm not doing that. And
She took the only action she felt she could.
I couldn't imagine bringing a child into the mix. I know I came to terms with the fact that it wasn't right to have the child, and that's something I live with to this day.
Allegedly, according to her, Doherty also became abusive.
When I called my parents and I was sobbing to them. I was like, Mom, Dad, like, I'm done. Like, he put his hands on me again. This has been so horrible. Like, he's not getting better.
Following their split, Richardson was left continuing to do OnlyFans to support herself after managing to regain control of her accounts from Doherty. And whilst this all might just seem inevitable and constant, it really shouldn't be. This is a marketplace, and it only exists because we continue to show up to this meat market. The only way to cut off the supply is to kill the demand, to stop feeding this escalation machine, and stop glamorizing this lifestyle, to kill parasocial relationships. Because if millions of people did this, the entire structure would collapse. People would never feel encouraged to do such a thing in the first place. Because systems don't change themselves, individuals do. And when enough people change, the system has no choice but to follow.
Facts. You know?
Alright, ladies and gents, so
great video, you know. With that being said, man, y'all let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Every single sub is greatly appreciated. And until next time. Peace.